Hey guys, Jagris here, and we are back once again in Gwent. And today I have another beginner deck for you. But before we do that, I very quickly want to show you guys a way of getting some free packs. So if you haven't already done this, in the single player menu there is a tutorial. And I only found this out today because I haven't done it. But it turns out that you can do these 3 tutorials under card management, the deck builder, shop, and collection one. Deck builder gives you 50 scrap, shop gives you a keg, and collection gives you 100 ore, which is enough to buy another keg. So if you want to get some kegs to jumpstart your collection, this is a good thing to do. Anyway, back to the deck. So today I have a starter deck for you, and that is the beginner Scoia'tael deck with Francesca, you see here. And my actual name is Francesca, so, you know, obviously she is definitely going to be kick-ass. And this is like a basic Dwarves deck. So we've tried to keep, you know, the crafted cards to a minimum. Unfortunately, the starter cards, you only get 2 copies of something, so you're going to have to kind of craft a few extras. But, you know, the cards that you do craft here are going to be the basis of a lot of your Scoia'tael decks. So I feel like it's worth making the cards that I've included. Anyway, so what have we got? Well, this is a basic Dwarves deck. So the idea behind this deck is you want to put your Mahakam, I think it's Mahakam, defenders out, and they have resilience. And resilience means that they stay on the board at the end of the round. So you want to basically get these guys out, and you want to buff them. And the way that you buff them is with the Mahakam guards. Immune to weather, add 3 strength to a non-gold unit on your side of the battlefield. If it's a dwarf, add 5 strength. So you can put out the Mahakam defenders, play the Mahakam guards, and buff up the defenders. Then what you can do is you can use your Blue Mountain Commando to return a bronze non-relentless unit on your side of the battlefield to your hand and play it immediately. So basically you then pick up the guard, play him again, and buff the Mahakam defenders again. So you can kind of see how quickly these guys can get strong. Unfortunately, you know, the counter to this is that your opponent is going to be trying to kill your defenders. So we just got to hope that doesn't really happen. So we've got our basic, you know, starter gold card that is Geralt. You'll see him in all of our beginner decks. Similarly, prize-winning cow. We tend to play that in all of our beginner decks as a silver card. And then we've also got Sheldon Skaggs. Now, Sheldon is just a basic 10 strength card. You get him for free. Basically, he's just a free 10 strength. And you can actually buff him with the guard as well if you don't find your defenders, though we're going to hope that you do. Then we also have the Fireball Trap, which is an ambush card. Ambush cards are played face down, and then they're revealed when a trigger happens. So in this case, the trigger would be your opponent playing a card. And when they do that, it removes 3 strength from it and spawns a Commander Neophyte on a random row on your side. So you gain 3 strength, which is Commander Neophyte, as you can see here, and they also lose 3. So it's like a net swing of 6, plus the 1 base strength that it has, which is not too bad. We also have our Dwarven Skirmishers. Remove 3 strength from an opposing non-gold unit. If it's not destroyed, gain 2 strength. So this is just, again, for some kind of harassment and removal. Similarly, we have 1 Alzur's Thunder. If someone plays something particularly problematic, then we can use that to remove it. We've got our weather counters in that we've got 2 First Lights. And as these dwarfs are susceptible to weather, we've also put a Blizzard Potion in here. Just in case we can't clear it, then we can at least give them immunity. And this should trigger on all the ones in your hand as well as on the board. We have our Scorch, which is a standard, you know, silver card. We include this in a lot of decks as well, just for removal of strong units. And Commander's Horn is actually, although it's been nerfed recently, it now only adds 5 strength to all non-golden units on a row. If you Commander's Horn the Mahakam defenders, you know, they'll keep that into the next round, so it becomes a little bit more useful. And we also have our Dimeritium Bomb, which you can use to reset, you know, buffed units of your opponent, or reset units if they've been weathered. Basically, it's just a generally useful card, and definitely one I recommend getting in your collection early on. Anyway, we're going to jump into a game now, and I'll try and show you this deck in action.
Naivety is a fool's blessing.
We do what must be done.
Okay, so we're going up against Giels and monsters, and what that means is we want to find our weather immunity cards, and ideally actually our bomb, because his passive, his leader ability, is that he sets all of the units in a row to 6, and you can actually remove that with the bomb. On top of that, we want to keep, you know, these defenders. These are very useful to have, and also the ones that strengthen, plus the Blue Mountain Commando to replay him. We've got a trap. We've got Blizzard Potion. We could probably afford to pass on Alzur's Thunder here, although it is nice to have the targeted removal. What else have we got in here? I think we need the weather immunity more, so I'm also going to pass up on the Dwarven Skirmisher rather than the card removal. Not good, you guys. Not much weather immunity at all. I think we'll just leave it at that. Because actually we could get rid of the trap. I think we'll get rid of the trap. Hey, we got it clear skies. Okay, so this is the Scoia'tael faction ability. You get to choose who will start the round. And basically on the first round, I typically just ignore this and let the coin toss decide. Generally, I feel like it's better to go second, so we were lucky in the coin toss that we went second. And what I'll typically do is I'll win a round, and then I'll trigger my Scoia'tael faction ability and make my opponent go first, because then you can kind of play retroactively from what they're playing. The other thing we have here is Francesca, so if we do need to find some first lights or traps or whatever, you know, we can find them quite easily, which is nice. So we're going to put our defender out for now. Unfortunately, you know, he's running Neckers, and basically what people do with Neckers is they kind of get a lot of them and then buff them and then, like, eat them. So this might be some kind of monster consume deck, basically. When removed from the battlefield, play a Necker from your deck. So you're basically going to be pulling out the Neckers, and he's just put more Neckers in his deck. What I want to do here, I think, while we can, is probably buff... Actually, no, I think he's okay on 4 strength. 4 strength is removable, but I feel like, you know, we better get the... We're maybe better getting them out first, but maybe what we'll do for now is buff this dwarf up to 9. Like I say, we want to be a little bit careful here as to what our opponent gets up to. But this is the Blue Mountain Commander combo I told you guys about. So we can then redraw this card, play it again, and buff the defender again, and now he's got 14 strength. So, you know, pretty tough. The problem is, like, that makes him a target for removal, but, you know, we have a second one in pocket, and we have the same cards again. So I'm not too worried. I don't want to play them both now, just in case. But I think, as things currently stand, you know, he's fairly safe, should we say? What are you up to? Monster's Nest. Okay, so he's gone and duplicated his Neckers. Unfortunately, we didn't have our Demeritian Bomb, which is a little bit awkward to play against. I think what we'll do here is we'll probably put out our other defender. Because, you know, it's going to be kept across till the next turn anyway, and this will hopefully bait more cards out of him. Unfortunately, you know, we don't have removal for his Neckers. So he's got a decent amount of strength. And there's the Igni. So yeah, we did know that he was going to want to remove our defender, which is okay. Because, you know, we kind of expected it to happen. I think we'll play the Blue Mountain Commando here and replay this unit, because we can always play this one on the next turn. We'll buff up our dwarf here. If he's got Scorch, you know, he's got Scorch. And this is the situation I was talking to you guys about, how we would want to remove his strength. I'm actually still okay playing here, to be honest. Like, we've got he's gone quite hard on this turn, so if we can take it off him, that's good. You know, we've got Geralt in hand, which we can just play down here and win the round. Alternatively, Toot will give us, what, 15 strength? And buff the Mahakam defender. So that's an option as well. I think we'll just play Geralt. Unfortunately, this does mean we're 1 card down on him. So he does have slight card advantage, but we took the round, which is good. He's going to keep... I don't know, what did he play last? A Necker or a Warrior? He's keeping a 6 either way. You know, there's not a whole mix. But I think when these guys get removed, it plays more from his deck. So you'll notice that it played more Neckers out there, which is a little bit annoying. We do, however, have some removal. We can remove one. And at this point, this is where we want to make him go first, like I said. So we're going to make our opponent go first here. And it actually doesn't look like this guy's playing Weather, so we may actually be worthwhile redrawing these cards. So I'm thinking what we might do here is just redraw at least these 2. It says up to 3 cards, so let's redraw our Weather cards. We don't need these. Remove 3 strength from an opposing unit. Oh, I don't know. I think we'll hold on to him and leave it at that. It also means that he has to play more cards here, and we can kind of see what he's up to. And then we can always, you know, pass, and we'll keep our 14 strength going into the next round. The problem is, you know, if he removes it, that's going to be annoying. But it's not the end of the world. I think, honestly, we just want to bait a few more cards out of him. So I'm actually okay just playing the trap for now, and just seeing what he gets up to. Oh, he's played Vran Warrior. Unfortunately, this is where Vran Warrior starts eating everything, and he keeps Vran Warrior going into the next turn. So actually what we're going to do here is pass, because what he'll want to do is have the Vran Warrior eat everything, and then go into the next turn, you know, really strong. And we don't really want him to do that. I mean, our alternative is we just Alzur's Thunder and kill the Vran Warrior. Which could be a good option, actually. Let's do that for now. I mean, we have, what, 14 and 10, and then Toot, and then a Dwarven Skirmisher in hand, so I'm not feeling like this is a bad hand for the next turn. Okay, he's Adrenaline Rush, so he wants to keep the 7 strength Necker. I think we just pass. You know, we're not going to catch him this round. And the more cards we can get out of him, the better. Hopefully he doesn't have a Scorch or anything to remove our 14. That's, you know, our fingers crossed moment is like he's already played his Igni, which is, by the way, a legendary card. So, you know, you can see that we're going against decks that do have, you know, stronger cards than us. So he keeps a 3 and a 7 and then draws more Neckers because of his stupid strategy. We've got a Commando here, which we can use to actually replay the Dwarven Skirmisher and basically hit 2 of his units. So let's play this.
Scoia'tael!
We'll hit
Attack!
this Necker, I guess? And then he gets buffed. And then we can... But the thing is, if we replay him, we're just doing more damage. We're not really gaining much else, unfortunately. Oh, I see what's going on. We need to kill this Arrakis. Because every time he eats one, then he gets buffed. I don't think we're going to catch him, unfortunately.
I'll feed you to the crows!
There we go. I see his strategy. He wants to basically keep duplicating Arrakises. He's going to want to play stuff in this row to basically buff the strength. Oh, there's Lightning Potion. This is where, you know, some sort of removal would have been nice. But as things currently stand, we've got another 10 strength in hand. Oh, and he's got Kayran. So he's going to basically eat up all these Neckers, and that's going to spawn Absorbs, and then this is going to be absorbed by the Vran. And there's nothing we can really do about this, to be honest, guys. Like, you know, he's got a pretty tough strategy on the go. And we didn't draw our Demeritium Bomb, which we did look for, I will say. So all we can really do here is toot the front row, and it becomes a 19-15. But you can see that, like, I think we gave it a good go, and we did get, you know, we got a round out of them, which is as a beginner deck what you want to do. You want to get at least one round. And hopefully you also got a feel for how that starter deck works. We'll jump into another game now, and we'll see how it goes.
Close ranks!
My folk have suffered much.
Okay, so as you can see, we're up against Northern Realms and Full Test. So we probably don't need weather removal, so we can mulligan the First Light. And probably the Blizzard Potion, for that matter. What we're looking for here is defenders, and then we want blue commandos, and we want guards that we can trigger on the blue commander. We got 2 guards here, 2 defenders. We'll mulligan the Blizzard Potion. We got a cow. And then, actually, Fireball Trap is quite nice here, because, you know, we can use it to maybe do some damage. Alternatively, we keep our Dwarf. I think we need to keep one, but I'm not convinced we need to keep both of these. I think we'll go for the Skirmisher just because he has more strength. So the Scoia'tael faction ability is that you can choose who starts the round. And basically the way I see it is you want to go second. But on the first round, you have a 50% chance of going second. So you may as well just ignore your ability. Unfortunately, we lost the coin flip, but it's not the end of the world. We'll play our prize-winning cow now. So the prize-winning cow, when removed from the battlefield, so at the end of the turn, becomes a chort. Although he's got the trebuchet out, which we can maybe use to buff it. Oh, we can actually kill the trebuchet. So let's just play these dwarves and kill the trebuchet, basically. He's probably going to play, if you saw my copy pasta deck, he's probably going to play like I was going to say a Reaver Hunter, but he's going for Redanian Elites. We'll play our other Dwarven Skirmisher now and just take that out. And that just makes our life a little bit easier here. As well as getting us, you know, 10 strength on the board. Even though he didn't get his buff, it's fairly useful just to clear those. What he's going to want to do is play 3 Redanian Elites. And then if he's got 3 of them out, they become golds. And then the Northern Realms faction ability is gold cards gain 2 strength, so they'll become 3 8s. Which is, you know, at the moment, it's not really a problem for us. We'll get our Dwarven, our Mahakam defenders out. Because, you know, they get kept on the battlefield anyway, so we may as well buy ourselves some time. And you can see there, he used the Reaver Hunter, which you can then use, pick a bronze instance and target, draw it from your deck, and he got the points out. We'll get our other defender out. And this is still fine, you know, I'm not feeling too worried because we carry strength between rounds. And we can always redraw should we need anything, like to try and find anything, but as things currently stand, I think our hand is actually quite strong. And then looking into the turns 2 and 3, that's when maybe the redrawing becomes useful because it's kind of like an extra mulligan. Oh, she shot him. Alright, we'll just buff him. There we go. We basically don't want them to kill our defenders. The other thing is we'll get our chort on the next turn.
Onward! Attack!
Okay, well, he does not like that unit. So we can play the guard, replay this unit, and keep buffing our units. And he's going quite heavy on this round. You might have noticed. 3 strengths to 3 non-gold units on your battlefield. So he's got a lot of strength out. I think, you know, for now we're good to pass. I mean, saying that, we could toot. Toot will give us 20 strength, but that's still not quite enough. Alternatively, we play our guard now. Actually, you know what? I think we can force him with this one with the toot and the horn, because we're keeping these units going into the next turn. I feel like, you know, I'm feeling fairly confident about this. You'll notice that what I've done is I'm keeping these two. I'm spreading my strength buffs across these two units, and I'm also. And he's passed. We'd have to play another card to win, which will put us on a 2-card deficit, but we keep 2 cards going into the next round, and they keep the toot. So I'm thinking ultimately this is a fine win, even if we then have to give up the next round. But you'll notice, yes, yeah, so I'm buffing these units independently of one another because I want them to have different amounts of strength, so they can't both be hit by an Igni or a Scorch, for example. And this is nice, and this is where we want to make him go first then. So we'll make our opponent go first, because then we can kind of see how he opens. We also kept our chort there because the cow got removed from the battlefield, which is nice.
Sure, be glad to.
Okay, so he's going to start resurrecting things. Ballistas. I'm honestly thinking at this point we may as well just pass and try and force him to catch us with his cards. He's got to catch 36, right? Which is going to be fairly challenging. And he wants the round to go on a long time because, you know, he has the reinforced trebuchet. But we don't want the round to go on a long time because we don't want to be hit by the trebuchet. Okay, he made that bronze. I'm not entirely sure why. I guess because he wanted to play the sergeant, but didn't necessarily have anything he wanted to target. And there you see he's got the round, but he's only got 2 cards in hand now, and we have 4, which is quite nice. And we can always Francesca the traps, should we think that they're maybe not the bestest cards to keep hold of. I think...
Interesting.
What do we want to play? I think the traps are okay. Honestly.
Damn it.
I think, like, if we have both the traps out, then whatever his last card is will get hit by them. So if we put both of these out, then whatever he rallies here is going to get hit for a load of damage. Boom. Hit by 1, and we get a neophyte. Boom. Hit by 2, and we get a neophyte. And you can see we've already won the round, and we don't even need to play these last 2 cards. I mean, at this point, you can pass. We can, you know, pop our defender out and put that out if we just want to be a bit ballsy, and then play the Geralt just to see our final score, which would have been, what, 50? And we never used Francesca either, so let's just pass. See, Francesca's so strong you don't even need to play her, you guys. But you can kind of see the benefit of keeping those dwarfs on the field and how that kind of carried through each round to give me a strong score across the rounds. We'll send him a GG. But yeah, guys, that's basically it for Francesca and the Scoia'tael beginner dwarf deck. If you like this video, you know, hit that thumbs up button and let me know in the comments below what kind of Gwent videos you would like to see in the future. More budget stuff, more beginner stuff, you know, more advanced stuff, let me know. In terms of alternate cards to play, you can always run stuff like Barclay Els. Barclay Els is like a quintessential dwarf card. Basically, if you're running a dwarf deck, he adds 1 strength to all of your other dwarfs wherever they are. So then you can basically use Barclay to buff them. And then if you have a card like Operator or Decoy, it allows you to like replay Barclay basically. And then if you replay him, you're buffing all your dwarfs some more. Similarly, Yarpen Zergen, gain resilience, resilient unit that stays on the battlefield for the end of the round. So he's another, you know, like a Mahakam defender. The difference is that he doesn't get resilience at the start of each round, so he can only stay on the field for 2, like the round you play him and the next one, whereas these guys stay through the whole game. In terms of gold cards, you know, we've got Zoltan Shive. He gains resilience when played, and again, so he's basically like a 5 strength gold defender, which means you can't really buff him, but they also can't really remove him. So it's a nice gold card to have out early. You could use Bruver Hoog as the leader. Bruver Hoog lets you target draw silver cards, so you could, you know, definitely make sure that you found your Barclay Els, for example. So there's kind of interesting synergies there. Similarly, you know, if you're going into bronze cards, there's more dwarfs. You can run like the Dwarven Mercenary, gain 2 strength for each dwarf unit on your side of the battlefield. So then you just play like loads of dwarfs, and then you play the Dwarven Mercenary, and this gets like super tough. Those are just kind of some of the options you could use to adapt or change this deck as you know, advance through the game and gain more cards. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day. And if you want to catch me playing Gwent live, I have a Twitch, twitch.tv/Jaggerus. Or you can find me on Twitter @Jaggerus. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!